Well, Doug Peterson said earlier this week when he played here, he knew there were 2 games each season he had to win the Cowboys games. And after tonight, he is well on his way to accomplishing that this season. And it comes with first place in the NFC East for the Eagles heading into a bye. It's got to feel good. We are here to break it down for you on the Postgame Show, presented by Ricoh, Amy Campbell, Fran Duffy, Ike Reese. The final score, 23-9 on Sunday Night Football. Fran, we'll start with you. Not the prettiest win we've ever seen from this team, but a win over a rival in prime time.
Plenty to fix, right, on both sides of the ball. Plenty that they're going to have to work on over the extra week of rest, and things that they're going to try and get corrected, as guys get healthy. There were a couple more injuries tonight that I'm sure we'll be hearing about over the next couple of days. But look, this is a team that continues to try to find ways to win. You know, that they built their first win streak now of the 2020 season, beating New York last week, finding a way to come out with a win tonight. Neither game was perfect. But there's no such thing, Ike. We say it all the time. No such thing as an ugly win in the NFL. These W's are hard to come by.
Yeah, Ike, the Eagles at halftime are trailing 7-9. They end up not allowing the Cowboys to score in the second half, shutting them out in the second half, and taking the 23-9 victory with some big contributions from the defense as well.
Yeah, much needed contributions from the defense tonight. The offense struggled to find its rhythm and get anything going consistently. And, the defense needed to step up and play big tonight. They needed to get some turnovers, and they were able to do that and even scored a touchdown tonight to really help put this game away for the Eagles. Like Fran said, it wasn't pretty, but a win is a win. A lot to still work on over the next couple weeks before they get back here and play the Giants in a couple weeks. But it's one of those games where you feel good about getting a W, but as a player, you didn't necessarily play at your best tonight, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
I want to talk about, yes, we'll continue to break it all down, but I think, to me, the biggest thing that stands out about this game was just the defense continuing to bail out the offense. The Eagles turned it over 4 times. The Cowboys got 3 points off of those turnovers, and of course, we saw that defensive touchdown, that strip sack by T.J. Edwards, the return for the touchdown by Rodney McLeod, and then also the Brandon Graham strip sack at the 7-yard line, the T.J. Edwards one at the 21-yard line. So just continuing to when Dallas was about to put points on the board to make it go the other way, whether that's giving them 0 points or, of course, with the McLeod, that's a 14-point swing right there. So just continue. That, to me, is the story of this game, Fran.
Yeah, I think really the big thing right now offensively, not only are these turnovers, they're tough to swallow, but too often the turnovers are happening in their own end of the field. So the NFL or the Eagles right now lead the NFL by a wide margin, unless I missed something from one of the earlier games today, with turnovers where the opponent starts in Eagles territory. And that's just, that's really tough to swallow if you're the Eagles defense, because you're in a very tough spot. Tonight, they were able to overcome that, which is good. Over the course of the season, that has not been the case for much of the year. So I think really when you look at these turnovers, they're happening in really difficult places where you're either backed up in your own territory or they're in the end zone where you're taking points off the board, which is almost equally as bad. So the turnovers, they've got to find a way to cut those down.
Well, and against a Dallas team that I believe only had 3 takeaways coming into tonight, they add now more than double that with the Eagles' 4 giveaways as well. All right, let's go back over to Lincoln Financial Field to Dave Spadaro. Dave, the Eagles get the win Sunday Night Football over their biggest rival for first place, but not the cleanest game. What's your initial impressions about this win?
My initial impression is I wonder how many times people throw up in their mouth through the whole entire game here. That was really difficult to digest, but I do want to point out some really good things about this Eagles team in the game. Okay, so Michael Jacquet is out there playing cornerback with Darius Slay on the sidelines. Eagles limited Amari Cooper to 1 catch, I think 5 targets, total non-factor, and I know Ben DiNucci's the quarterback. But the Cowboys came in with, they had to be creative. They went with the direct snaps, the wildcat look. They did the double reverses. They tried to get the football out of Danucci's hands quickly. Eagles were down to Jaquette, promoted from the practice squad, out at cornerback for the second half. They had to use backups. Raekwon Williams at defensive tackle took some reps with Malik Jackson out. So there is this sense that this defense really overcame some adversity. And I got to tell you, I loved Jim Schwartz dialing up the blitzes. I thought the timing of the blitzes was uneven, but when they got home, they made big plays. And the defense won this game for the Eagles. The offense got a lot to talk about, got a lot to improve upon. I don't know what in the world Carson Wentz is thinking for most of this game with the throws that he was making, the decisions that he was making. But as we say, you know, a win is a win is a win, and this bye week comes at a great time. Get everybody back, get to the Giants, get to the Browns, continue this little run here. You don't get style points for it, but they never ask you at the end of the day how, they just ask you how many.
No question. Dave, you talked about the turnovers there at the end. Have you been around a team that has turned the ball over like this and found a way to overcome that? You know, we've seen over the first half of the year, the Eagles have turned the ball over at such a high rate. Do you envision a scenario where they can overcome this in the second half?
No way. The turnover ratio is the true barometer of success in the NFL. That and red zone efficiency. The Eagles must, against good teams, play much closer to error-free football. But this game reminded me of 2000, I believe it was 2012 opener, Fran. Eagles at Cleveland. Michael Vick's the quarterback. Brandon Weeden making his first start for the Browns. He threw 4 interceptions. Vick threw 4 interceptions. Eagles win the game on a Michael Vick touchdown pass to Clay Harbor with 1:16 seconds left. And you kind of go, exhale. Feels really lousy as it goes down the throat. But at the end of the day, when it settles in the stomach, you got that W, and that's all that matters.
You're exactly right, Dave. And I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the ball. One of my concerns coming into this game is how would Jordan Mailata do over there at right tackle. Had some struggles in the first half a little bit there, but I thought in the second half he played pretty well. How'd you think he did out there tonight at right tackle?
Yeah, I think he played pretty well. But, I mean, anybody who believes that the Eagles are better with Jordan at tackle right now instead of Lane or Jason Peters is sadly mistaken. And JP was limping to get through this game. Eagles try to do anything they can to keep him on the field in the second half of the season. Look, to me, the story of the offense was 2. Carson Wentz and what's going on in his head when he's dropping back and throwing into the end zone, into double coverage, holding the football, the decisions that he's making. That first turnover was just unbelievable. Rolling out to the left, had an easy throwaway, held it, got sacked. I mean, this is stuff that rookie quarterbacks don't do. That has to stop. That hero football has to stop. Not just curtail, it has to stop. And then number 2, Doug went away from the run in the first half, and I just don't understand it. I mean, the Eagles were gashing Dallas in the run game, and then late in the first half, as we did here, we saw in the Giants game, the offense just stagnated. So a lot of things to answer, things to clean up. It's nice to go to the bye week with a win. It's nice to have a couple of victories against the NFC East. This division is terrible. Tonight's football was ugly. I mean, if you're not an Eagles fan, I'm not sure you're staying tuned into this game, to be honest with you. It was that difficult to watch. But I do give the credit to the defense for bailing this Eagles offense out.
All right, and Dave, going into the bye real quick, where does the team go from here?
Well, they go into the trainer's room. They get Lane Johnson healthy. They get Malik Jackson healthy. We hope that Darius Slay's ankle's okay.
Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry I have to cut you off. Rodney McLeod is at the podium. We'll catch up with you later.
Hey, Rodney, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Dave Zangaro and then John McMullen.
Hey, Rod, take us through the touchdown. What happened there?
Jim called a pressure, man. Been calling a lot of pressures all night, but that was the first time we called that one in particular. Just rushed down the middle. Guys did a good job. I don't even know who hit him. Ball was just scrambling. I really thought we were offsides on that play, but the ball was there. I scooped it up. I'm running. I'm honestly thinking, man, we probably going to have to come back and defend them in the red zone. But I looked, and I see touchdowns, and, man, it it was just my time. Right place, right time.
John McMullen and then Rob Maaddi.
Hey, Rodney. Sorry about that. It looks like over the past few weeks, you've been lining up all over a little bit more, a little closer to the line of scrimmage. A, is that a fair assessment? And B, it seems like it picks up some energy to your game. Would you agree with that as well?
Yeah, it's good when you can, when Jim, allows me to kind of move all over the place. And tonight, man, the emphasis was putting pressure on the quarterback in that offense. So everybody kind of had their fair share. But, yeah, just trying to do whatever it takes to win, man. And it felt good to come out with the win tonight. It was a good team effort. And defense, we played lights out.
Rob and then Les.
Told me about a week or so ago, you don't care how you guys win football games, as ugly as they can be, as long as you win. Do you guys feel coming out of this one like you survived, like this was a tough battle, and at least you're coming out, going into the bye in first place?
Yeah, I felt like we did what we had to do to win. And there's going to be times where, the defense carries the team, and there's going to be other times where the offense comes up big and bails us out. But, I mean, every phase showed up tonight. When we needed them the most, special teams included, coming up, with that onside kick, guys running down on kickoff, making tackles. Good to have Rudy Ford back, and then the offense showing up, like I said, when they need it. So we're gonna continue to get better. We know we have to. There's a lot of things that we need to get fixed, and we have time during this bye week to correct that, and then prepare for the Giants, another division opponent.
Les and then Paul Domwood.
Hey, Rodney. It looked like the ball was there on the fumble. The ball was kind of, Vinny had it sort of, and some guys were wrestling with him, and then it sort of squirted out toward you. What did you think when you saw that? Could you believe it? Were you surprised?
I was surprised. It was just secure the bag, you know what I'm saying? Pick it up, make sure you get possession, and after that, get to the end zone. Like I said, I'm glad. I think it was Duke or TJ. One of those guys got back on sides, and man, I appreciate it because we got the touchdown.
Paul and Daniel.
Yeah, Rodney, you mentioned the emphasis was on pressure tonight. Jim doesn't like to blitz a lot, but when he's had a chance to go after rookie quarterbacks or inexperienced quarterbacks, I remember Luke Falk last year when you guys played the Jets. He takes advantage of it, doesn't he?
Yeah, correct. Wanted to mix up our looks a lot, give him some new blitzes that we haven't put on film, and I felt like they were effective. They started picking up on our pressures going on the quick count, but, man, the D-line did an amazing job. They've been awesome all year. They continue to apply pressure. So I think it's something that we can use moving forward, but it was good just to see the pressure be effective tonight.
We have time for two more, so we'll go Daniel and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Rodney, you were down at the bottom of the pile on the onside kick attempt. What was kind of going through your mind on that play with how they executed it, and what was it like at the bottom of the pile?
Yeah, it was a great call by them. I think a lot of us thought about fair catching it, but the ball hung up in the air so long. It was hard to really judge that ball. But, man, it's a scrap at the bottom of the pile. Anything goes, and, it got a little crazy down there, but I ended up, winning that battle.
Go ahead, Ed.
I was going to ask you about that, Rodney. How tough was that wrestling match under there? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in those piles. How did you persevere?
Man, just, what I'm saying, I know we needed it, and do whatever it takes, So that's what we did, and we got the ball.
Thanks, Rodney.
Yep.
Okay, that's Rodney McLeod after the Eagles win this evening. McLeod, of course, with the fumble recovery for the touchdown. I love that he said, look, there's going to be times when the defense carries the team. There's going to be times when the offense carries the team. And McLeod, of course, making the big play for the defense tonight. All right, let's get back to breaking this thing down. Ike, let's get into some of the big things that stood out to you this evening. Where do you want to start?
Well, the first reason why the defense had to carry the team tonight is because of the offense, and in particular, the quarterback play. You know, Carson Wentz play tonight was just sloppy, and it made this game tougher than it needed to be. You can't have 4 turnovers, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, just inexcusable play at the quarterback position tonight. And Carson Wentz has come too far along in his career, and I've seen him play at MVP heights to have these types of setbacks in his play. And tonight I thought would be a night that he can build on what he had done over the past couple of weeks and sort of take the next step in trying to carry this team and playing at an elite level, which I know he has the ability to do. But tonight, looks like he was trying to force the action, force the plays, as opposed to allowing them to take its nice or organic course and allow these things to happen. You can't start the game off with the type of sack, forced fumble that he had tonight. It really puts your defense in a bind. Thankfully, this defense only gave up 3 points off of those 4 turnovers, but this game was much tougher than it needed to be tonight, and it was a large part due to the play of Carson Wentz.
Carson tonight completed 55% of his passes, 15 of 27 attempts, 123 yards, 4 sacks, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and of course the 2 fumbles as well. Fran, normally we are talking about letting the Bronco buck. What did you see from Carson tonight in terms of all of that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the turnovers have to stop, right? I mean, I don't think that I can add anything more than what Dave said earlier and then what Ike just said. I think that they have got to find ways to take better care of the football. So whether that's putting him in position to not have to make those kinds of throws, especially with the win being what it was, or if he's just got to make better decisions when those kinds of plays are called. They just cannot turn the ball over at the rate that they have done. We talked about it earlier with Dave. I mean, that's not a winning formula. It's not a sustainable model for success to be able to turn the ball over at the rate that they are and still get wins on the scoreboard. So I think ultimately they have got to find a better way to take care of the ball.
And of course, getting a boost back to this offense with some players who we haven't seen in several games, some guys who did really well. Yeah, I mean, I think we should highlight Boston Scott, a career high for him, 70 yards on the ground. The first touchdown of Jaylen Rager, we'll see a little bit more of that as well tonight. And then Dallas Goedert back as well, just 1 catch for him, but also a key part of it as well. So the weapons are continuing to grow around Carson. It's a matter of making those good decisions and putting those guys in a position for success. All right, Ike, let's continue. What else stood out to you tonight?
Well, let's get to the defense, Amy and Fran. I mean, they were outstanding tonight. You're going up against a third-string quarterback in Ben DiNucci, and I must admit, the kid acquitted himself well tonight. He looked like a guy who was making his first start, but he made some nice plays out there for the Cowboys tonight, but the defense was pretty much in his face all night. Great game plan from Jim Schwartz, being able to dial up the pressures, rush the thought process of Ben DiNucci, and then they were able to get a couple turnovers. Obviously, the touchdown was huge, but I just thought the fact that the Cowboys had to dig deep into their playbook to come up with a lot of trickery really just speaks to what this defense really was able to do and handcuff whatever the Cowboys wanted to do tonight, really forcing DiNucci into some 3rd and long situations where he had to throw the ball, and the young guy got rattled, held onto the ball, took some untimely sacks, and then obviously that big sack late in the game, forced fumble from T.J. Edwards that Rodney McLeod was able to take back for a touchdown. It was just huge. Really, the Cowboys had maybe 1 or 2 drives where they were able to move the ball, but other than the Eagles turning the ball over and giving the Cowboys good field position, I thought this defense was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, Fran, this Cowboys offense was getting real creative. Ike mentioned trying some trickery there, and I think that's very well said. We saw a lot of really interesting, creative stuff there. Not a lot of it that was successful against this Eagles defense. What did you see from the Cowboys' approach to this game, trying to set the rookie up for success?
Well, I actually almost want to flip that to Ike because I want to ask you, like, if you're a defense, you come out and on the opening drive and you see the double reverse, you see the direct snaps to Zeke. Does that get you thinking, like, all right, like they're trying to pull out all the stops to, they know that they can't just line up and win tonight? Does that like go through your mind as a defense?
Yeah, it really does. The fact that they ran that double reverse on their first series, that should have raised the antennas of the Eagles defense. And I'm sure it did for Jim Schwartz that this wouldn't be the first or last play that you would see like this tonight. And the Cowboys dug deep into their playbook with a lot of different plays. I thought they had some wide receiver passes set up that they just didn't get a chance to get the throw off. And as a defense, once you see that stuff early in the game, that gives you confidence because you know the offense doesn't have confidence to line up and move the ball down the field. And I'm not surprised. With Ben DiNucci, there's no way he was going to be able to just sit back there and throw the ball against this Eagles defense. They were going to have to come up with some creative ways to try to move the ball. And you knew it would have a lot to do with reverses and wide receiver runs because the Eagles have struggled on that earlier in the season. So I guess the Eagles should have been able to expect some of these things.
So, of course, we saw a lot of great stuff from this defense tonight. I want to highlight TJ Edwards. We mentioned it a little bit. He's back from injury. This is his first game back in the last few weeks. And he had, of course, that big strip sack as well, but led the team in tackles tonight. Combined tackles 12. 6 of those were solo tackles. And especially for a linebacking core, this group held Ezekiel Elliott in check. Ezekiel Elliott was 5-1 against the Eagles coming into this game, averaging almost 150 yards on the ground against this Eagles team, and he was held in check tonight, 63 yards, 0 touchdowns, 19 carries as well. So a big effort from this defense to hold Ezekiel Elliott in check, and TJ Edwards, a big night from him. And I believe we are about to hear from Brandon Graham, one of the stars of tonight's win. Let's take a listen.
Hey, BG, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Martin Frank and then Nick Fierro.
Hey, Brandon, I guess if you can kind of take us through your strip sack and at the time it was obviously a pretty big play. What was kind of going through your mind and what happened?
I really was just thinking about, just trying to make a play. I know that they was marching down the field a little bit and, we just needed to stop. And, I ended up getting the opportunity and, I'm glad I went for the ball and glad we recovered it because, that was just a kickstart of what we was trying to do and get going in the game.
Nick and then Jeff McLean.
Hi, BG. How much pride did you guys take in holding them out of the end zone tonight?
Oh, it felt good. It felt good. It didn't look pretty. We knew it was going to be a battle, of course. But, we held strong when it came down to, holding them in the red zone. And, I'm happy that, we stuck together during them times.
Jeff and then Zach.
BG, what was the game plan for going up against Ben DiNucci, a guy who really pretty much had never played quarterback in the NFL?
Just make sure that we stay in his face, especially up front, and make sure that we, just play tight coverage. That was the biggest thing, and I feel like we did those things. Like I said, it wasn't pretty, but that was the whole goal, is to make sure we stayed in his face.
Zach and then Chris Murray.
Hey, Brandon, when the offense is turning the ball over at the rate they did, what does that do for the defense there? And when you have the short fields, do you feel like you need to turn the ball over, just to keep points off the board?
Yeah, you always thinking about when somebody make a turnover on our offense and, get a good play or whatever, you trying to come right back with another good play. And so, that's always the mindset, coming out, keeping them out of the zone. And then hopefully if you get a turnover, stop them from getting any points. So we always try to hold them to 3 when they get in the red zone or flip the field. But, a turnover is always the number one goal.
And then John McMullen.
Hey, BG, can you talk about how well the defense has been playing over the last couple of weeks, especially in those situations where the offense gets a turnover and you have to kind of, I guess, bail them out or basically keep the other team out of the end zone?
It's cool because that's what we pride ourselves on, putting the offense in a good position. Despite what happens on they side, we just worry about what we can control, and that's us. And I think that we do a good job of that, especially, when things happen, it's nobody, complaining or, having that negative talk of, man, dang, we just got a turnover. Everybody's trying to go out there and get another turnover so that we can keep them from getting in the zone or getting any points.
John and then Paul Domowitch.
Hey, BG. Obviously, you didn't have much to look at when it came to Ben coming into this game, but when he did get in against Washington, he kind of put it on the ground a couple times. Did you guys have the feeling that if you could get there, that was a possibility?
Oh, yeah. We was just trying to, knock that ball out of his hands. We knew that it was going to be a lot of what they did today. They did a lot of, reverse, run the ball, downhill runs, and, misdirection runs. We knew that how teams are attacking us. We gotta put those fires out because it's similar. I felt like today was similar to the Rams a little bit, just on some of the blocking schemes. But we know that we held strong when we were supposed to, and it wasn't pretty. But you know how these games are. It's any given Sunday.
We have time for one more, so we'll take Paul Domowich's question.
Yeah, Brandon. Rodney said the emphasis was on pressure today. Your sack, I think, was only with a 4-man rush, right?
Yeah.
But you guys did blitz quite a bit tonight, more than you usually do.
Oh yeah, I mean, Coach. We trust Coach. Coach dialed in. You don't know. It's either a blitz day or it just depends on how the game going. And like I said, we trust Coach. I was happy with some of the calls, that he had. And, as a D lineman, you just want to get there. And that's it. You just want to get back there and sack the quarterback and make sure that you take care of the run up front. I think Coach Schwartz, like I say, is a great coordinator. And I love, him always putting us in position to win. And so we just got to go execute and win. And it don't always be pretty, but, one thing for sure, we trust him. So, I was happy with how we called it today.
Thanks, BG.
Thank you.
Hey, Jaylen, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Marcus Hayes and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Jaylen, how did it feel, and how does it look going into the bye week for you from your perspective?
I just felt good to be back. A lot of work to do, more reps to get, and just try to build on this win.
Dave and then Rob Motti.
You got your first NFL touchdown today. What was that like?
It was a blessing. Patience is key, and I believe is what's for you is what's for you. So it was a blessing. It was surreal moment.
Rob and then Nick.
What did you see on that 4th down play towards the end where it looked like you almost had it and then he made a good play?
What you said, he made a good play.
Nick and then Jeff McLean.
Hi, Jaylen. The offense is still kind of in search of a complete game. Do you feel like the more pieces that you get back, you being a start, that you're going to have a chance to do that in the second half of the season?
Absolutely. We'll be able to do it individually and collectively.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Jaylen, how do you feel like your chemistry is with Carson? Obviously, you guys haven't played for a long stretch of time. Is that a factor in some of the missed throws?
Like I said, it's just doing better at my part and just making sure we get the reps in practice throughout the week and just keep going back to work.
Thanks, Jaylen.
All right, that is the rookie wide receiver Jaylen Rager after his first NFL touchdown performance, 3 catches and 1 for a 2-point conversion, 1 for a touchdown tonight against the Cowboys after missing. Well, he'd been out since week 2, so you do the math on that one. Let's get back to the takeaways. Ike, what is your third one? Nope. Okay, I'm going to pause on that, and head coach Doug Peterson is stepping up to the podium now to talk about the win.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Nick Fierro and John McMullen.
Hi, Doug. I had asked Jaylen this. You've kind of figured out ways to win here without putting together this, a complete game, at least offensively. Do you think you can keep winning that way, or you're going to have to figure it out and start, getting this thing rolling a little bit better in the second half of the season?
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure some things out. Obviously, we're happy and excited with the win and all of that, But yeah, we've got some things we got to figure out here, in the next week.
John and then Martin.
Hey, Doug, obviously it's a positive to go into the bye on a winning note. From your perspective as an offensive play caller, when you see that many turnovers, what does it do to you in this situation? Even though you have that positive of a win, but you have those teaching moments, so to speak.
Well, listen, we understand, and we can't turn the ball over. Bottom line, we can't turn the ball over. We're too good. We got too much responsibility, for everybody, me included. We just got to take ownership of it, and we can't do the things we're doing in order to really survive in this league. And we've got to get better. We've got to fix it. We got to fix it in a hurry. We get a chance to sit back and look at the first 8 games and evaluate and try to come away with some whys. But we just can't keep turning the ball over and shooting ourselves in the foot. Things we got to clean up in the second half of the season.
Martin and then Chris Franklin.
Hey, Doug, defensively, TJ Edwards came up pretty big. You got obviously a lot of big turnovers and sacks and everything. Like, how much did the defense kind of have to help you guys out, in order to pull this out tonight?
Yeah, my hat's off to the defense. They played extremely well. Held them to 9 points, 3 field goals, and just really did an outstanding job. Scored on defense, played tough, got after the quarterback. Really a complete game defensively, and it was really exciting to see, and something we got to carry into the second half of the season.
Chris and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Doug, you guys went for it twice on 4th down in the second quarter there. Could you take us through the thought process, and even when there was both weren't converted?
Well, I think the first, the first one, opportunity, just missed on the protection. Didn't execute, failed to execute there. I think we, QB sneak, I think, on the other one. Was that the other one, Brett? QB sneak we got, and then, I think I punted on another one. So, again, that's an area that we'll look at this week, study that, and see how we can improve.
Jeff and then Zach.
Doug, Carson on the first interception threw in the double coverage. This is, obviously in the red zone. Why is it something that he keeps on doing?
We can't turn the ball over. We understand that. He knows that. We're in a position to put points on the board and just can't do that. We just gotta keep working, right? Got to keep detailing our work and keep coaching and get it corrected.
Zach and then Les.
As a follow-up to that, what was the conversation with Carson on the sideline, and was there ever consideration to pulling him after the 4th turnover?
The conversation was, just again explaining that we can't do that. We're in a position to put points on the board and continue a drive if we just throw the ball away, and that's something that we gotta learn from. And no, there was never any of that conversation to pull him.
Les and then Rob Mattei.
Hi, Doug. Other teams seem to have been able to attack this defense without making things as complicated as you guys seem to make them sometimes tonight. What did you see? Why were there so many trick plays and so many seemingly, plays that took a long time to develop, a lot of time Carson, back in the pocket looking around? What was that all about in your view?
It was about trying to win the game. That's what it was about.
Rob, and then Dave Zangaro.
Doug, do you think part of the issues with Carson is just putting too much pressure on himself at times where he's thinking that I got to do something here, I got to make a play, I got to create, I got to be a playmaker?
I think there's times I think he probably feels that way. Probably a better question for Carson, but we also continue to coach, and hey, you got to trust the guys around you, and just execute the offense and all that. But I do feel like at times there might be some opportunities where he feels like he's got to take it upon himself, and that's just who he is. That's the aggressive nature and his demeanor, and I love having the ball in his hands. He's also a great playmaker, for us, and I never want to pull that ball out of his hand.
We have time for a few more, so we'll go Dave Zangaro and Marcus Hayes.
Hey, Doug, I'm sure fans are going to come away from watching that game happy with the win, but also really concerned about some of the things we've already talked about tonight. How do you view it generally? I mean, can you enjoy it as much as any other win?
Yeah, I mean, a win in this league is a win, man. They're hard to come by. There's never a pretty win. There's never an ugly win, and a win's a win. And we gotta start stacking them together. And guys are excited in the locker room. We know we got to play better. We're also optimistic we can get some players back here in the second half of the season that can help us and try to get back to full strength. But it was good to get the guys back tonight that were out there. And go into this bye, get healthy, and see what happens.
Last question here with Marcus.
Hey, Doug, how do you think Carson played, and do you think he needs a bye? I mean, a compressed preseason, lots of hits, lots of responsibility, lots of injuries. Do you think he could maybe use a break?
I can use a break, Marcus. And according to you, I kept my job tonight.
You might have me confused with somebody else there, Doug. So do you think Carson can use a break?
I think this is a good time for all of us, honestly. Where we are as a health as a football team, it's a chance for the coaches to kind of go back and study the first 8 games and see where we can improve in all 3 areas. It's a chance for the players to get rested and healthy, and got 8 games left, and opportunity right in front of us still. Goals are still right in front of us, and as I said, we get some players back and try to get back to full strength and see what happens. Just take them one at a time. But this is a good time for this team to take a bye. Yes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that's head coach Doug Peterson after his team's win tonight, heading into the bye week in a 3-game stretch of NFC East opponents. The Eagles so far 2-0 in that 3-game stretch. And earlier this week, we heard Rodney McLeod talk about this team making an agreement. Let's go 3-0 in these next 3 weeks, put ourselves in a position in this division. And of course, they are in first place after a Sunday night football game against the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest rivalry in the NFL, heading into a bye week with the Giants on the other side of that in about 2 weeks. And we are waiting to hear from Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz. A couple of more highlights from Doug Peterson's press conference as Carson is ready at the podium now.
Hey, Carson, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with John McMullen and Chris Franklin.
Hey, Carson. Obviously, positive you go into the bye with a win. From a personal perspective, turned it over too often. I think you would agree with that. What do you think the issues were, and how do you think you can fix them moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, first part of that, absolutely. Going into the bye week with a win is huge for us. Huge for us going forward with this division as well. Like you said, though, too many turnovers. I got to be better. There's mistakes out there. Some of it maybe not on the same page. Some of it I got to, the first fumble, I got to throw the ball away. That stuff I can keep cleaning up. And, obviously it's stuff that individually I can get better at. And some of these shots down the field, I'm going to keep giving these guys chances. And I can be better and put the ball in the right spot. But I'm not going to change my aggressive mentality, but we're going to start connecting on some of those big plays. And obviously it hurt us a little bit today, but the defense played great, and we got to win.
Chris and then Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Carson, you mentioned beforehand past weeks when you've had turnovers, and you said you got to work better, and seems like it's at the same spot again. I mean, what can you do to change this, and is there anything else you can go ahead and rectify this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the interceptions just get on the same page as my receivers. I think, like I just said, is I'm gonna take those chances when I'm out of the pocket, or I see a guy down the field with a chance. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I've never been wired to hesitate, and I can put it in a better spot. I can give these guys better opportunities, but just being smart, and I mean, I'll have to watch the tape and see some of the other things, but I'm gonna stay aggressive. I'm not gonna change who I am, but I can just protect it better.
Daniel and then Brandon.
Carson, after Rodney's touchdown, it looked like you went over to the kickoff huddle and slapped DJ Edwards on the back or on the helmet. What did you say to him, and what did that play do for you guys tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play, by TJ I believe it was TJ who forced the turnover, and then Rodney getting in the end zone there. Like I said, I mean, offensively we struggled. I got to be better, but the defense bailed us out. That was a huge play in the game to really kind of not fully seal the deal, but obviously put us in a great situation there at the end of the game, and that was just a huge play, so I was pretty fired up about it.
Brandon and then Zach.
Hey, Carson, you're up to 55 fumbles in 64 games. How much are you aware of that number? And then kind of just going through tonight's 2 fumbles, can you take us through those?
Yeah, I guess I'm aware of it now. Appreciate it. I know it's something I can do better at. I know some of them, they're all case by case. It's one of those things where some of them I can straight up be better. The first one tonight, I was about to throw it, and it was a mistake. The other one was 4th down, trying to get the ball out, make a play. That one happens. We were hot and didn't get it out in time. That one's unfortunate, but I can keep learning how to be better with the ball, and we will be.
Zach and then Ed Benkin.
Hey, Carson, how would you assess the way you played overall tonight? And you're 8 games into the season. How do you think you've played so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, not good enough. I mean, I'm pumped we got the win, but I'm gonna have to watch the tape, and I'm a little frustrated with just how I played and how we left some plays out there and left some points out there, missed some big opportunities, and I can be better. I know I will be, and I would say the same thing for this far into the season. I'm pumped that we're at the top of our division, that we're heading into this bye week, but halfway through the year, I know I can play better, and a lot of it's just coming down to just taking care of the football. And I feel like I'm still the same aggressive guy that's going to pull the trigger, and I never want to change that, but just being smart and putting it in the right spot.
Ed and then Jeff.
Hi, Carson. You mentioned, of course, you want to look at everything, correct your mistakes. For the bye week, a lot of times guys just want to get away. Do you need a few days to really kind of clear your mind and get away from football, or do you want to kind of get back to work as soon as possible and maybe take some time during the break to try to correct things more?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely needed for everybody to take, maybe not the whole week, but to take some time off. You have to. It's a long season, and with everything going on with just the world these days, guys need to really take the time off. But we'll have a couple work days, and we'll definitely capitalize on those, make the most of them, and get better.
Steph and then Dave.
Carson, Dallas Cowboys just had 1 target. It was a big catch, obviously, the 15-yarder to him down by the goal line. But what were they doing to keep him pretty much out of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and watch the tape. I think some of it was just their zone coverage and just kind of how the plays were designed, and hard to fully say what. I know Dallas and who he is, and, I mean, he's going to have lots of catches the rest of the year. And, I think there was some uncertainty if we'd have him for the week, so I don't think we fully designed the plan to really highlight him, so to speak. So that's definitely something that we'll keep building on.
Dave and then Martin.
Carson, you talked about being aggressive and taking those shots. So with the 2 interceptions tonight, were you okay with those decisions and not the execution? Is that what you were saying?
Definitely the second one. John and I just weren't on the same page with the angle of the throw there. And I mean, both of them, the DB made great plays, and, hats off to him. The first one I got to go back and watch. I thought Rager had a step on the guy, so I was, I'm out of the pocket, and I pulled the trigger quick and trying to give him a chance, and the DB beat him to the spot. And So I'll have to go back and critique that one, look harder at it. But the second one, I mean, the coverage definitely dictated that's where to go with the ball, and John and I just weren't on the same page.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll go Martin and then Les.
Hey Carson, you had Jaylen Rager back tonight. It seemed like you guys had pretty decent connection and everything. Like, how encouraged are you going forward with him and Travis Fulgham, who continues to make a lot of big catches, and as well as Hightower? I know you guys missed on a few and everything, but just like the 3 of those guys going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about them and how they've. I feel like I've been talking about them quite a bit this year, just because I've been impressed with how they've developed ever since camp. It's hard to be a young guy, a rookie, or like Travis, a second-year guy, and be thrust into playing right away, especially with really no off season. So every week is great learning for them, and they're getting better by the week. And those guys are making great plays, along with our tight ends and Greg in the slot, and different guys are stepping up. So I'm excited to keep building off what they've done so far and keep getting better.
Go ahead, Les.
Yeah, Carson. This defense, the Cowboys defense, was giving up more than 34 points a game coming in. It looked like you weren't finding anything you liked out there so often when you drop back. Were they doing anything different? Was what did you see, and what was making things so hard?
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much played their defense, and I thought they played a pretty decent game. We definitely left some plays out there. They like to play some soft zone coverage and kind of make the passing game, I don't want to say hard, but kind of limit your shots and opportunities. And I thought we missed some of those, and the times we did have a chance to strike, we missed some of them, and I got to be better. But I got to go back and watch the tape and see, what did they really mix it up, or did we just make it harder on ourselves and miss some opportunities?
Thanks, Carson.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, TJ, thanks for taking the time today. We will open it up for questions. We'll get started with Jeff McLean.
TJ, obviously a lot of tackles for you there, and the big sack. Can you describe what happened on that play?
Yeah, it was a pressure that we've had in, and we just executed it really well, and able to get the ball out, and a little luck with the bounce, and Rod picked it up and doing what he does, and always being around the ball and finished it for a touchdown. So it was a big play for us. We needed a little spark there at the end, and just happy to be part of that play.
We'll go Ed Kratz and then Les.
Hey, hi, TJ. You just came back from the injury. Did you expect to get that many snaps tonight? And how did you feel, with the time you had?
Yeah, I mean, we knew, they ran a lot of 12 personnel, so I figured it'd be in a good amount of base snaps. And then towards the end of the game, got moved to nickel and just had a comfortable feel for the game at that time. So, you always got to be ready for whatever the coaches think. And I was just glad that my rehab went well and everything like that, so I was able to perform well tonight.
Les and then Daniel.
Hey, TJ. Rodney McLeod talked about one of your linebackers was almost offside there on the key play, that your fumble. What happened there exactly? Who got back onside? Was it Duke?
Yeah, Duke actually, he just took a jab step. He really didn't cross, so it was, a heads-up play by him, and, we were able to, finish out that play. Good thing. So it was a good play for him to get back and make sure we were onside. So.
And when the ball was bouncing around, I guess Vinny sort of had it there for a while. Did you have a good view of this? What were you seeing?
I honestly got up from the tackle and was almost looking at the sideline for the next call, just because I thought the ball was down already and we picked it up. So, and then I see it get kicked around and Rod picked it up, and it was honestly kind of crazy.
Daniel and then Martin.
Yeah, TJ, along those lines, Rodney said that when he was running the ball in, he was kind of half expecting to have to, bring it all the way back and, play a couple more snaps. What was going through your mind when you saw him going, into the end zone and with everything that happened there?
Yeah, I think first things first, I was looking for a flag just in case, they called that. But after looking at the replay, you saw, Duke get back. But I think we were all just, happy that we could score on defense and kind of put that thing away at the end. So it was a great play, and just guys getting to the ball and finishing the snap out. So.
Go ahead, Martin.
TJ, how important was it for you guys to get pressure on Danucci? I mean, obviously being a rookie, third string guy. I mean, was that kind of like how you guys planned about going about stopping him?
Yeah, definitely. I think we knew that we had to stop that run game, and there was times where we didn't. So obviously things to clean up, and it wasn't perfect, but we knew he's still in the NFL. He's a good quarterback. So we had to give him some different looks to try to make him switch his view on some things, and I think we just had a really good game plan going into this one. So and I thought we executed fairly well for the most part.
We have time for one more, so we'll take Ed Kratz.
Hey, hi, TJ. Would you say this was the best game you've had as an Eagle in your career so far in these 1.5 years?
I'd have to watch the tape because it's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. But it definitely felt pretty good. Just being able to be out there and be healthy and just running around with those guys and having fun. I think, as a team, we just had a lot of fun today, no matter what was going on. So it's always good to be out there and contribute to a big time win. So.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Eagles linebacker TJ Edwards, a heck of a return for him. 12 total tackles, including the strip sack. That was a game changer tonight. We are going to take a quick break. On the other side, we've got the Ricoh review, the nominees for the Toyota Player of the Week, and the Jameson Nightcap. Stay with us. Eagles rookie receiver Jaylen Rager returning this season for the first time since week 2 as he battled back from an injury to get his first NFL touchdown. And he is the subject of tonight's Ricoh review from Fran Duffy. Fran has the breakdown for us. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look now at the first career touchdown for rookie wide receiver Jaylen Rager. We're going to see him here at the bottom of the screen. He's actually going to score at the far pylon, so he's got a long ways to go. Let's see exactly what the Eagles do. First, you're going to bring Jaylen Rager in short motion, basically into the backfield, almost like a wing. So we'll let that happen here for a second. And all that's going to do is just get the thought and the idea that, you know what, these guys, they got to worry about stopping the run. You got Boston Scott in the backfield. He's done a nice job so far. The Eagles' offensive line, they're blowing people off the ball. They got to be prepared for the run. And you also have to watch out for number 11 on a possible zone read here, right? So that he can keep this and run. They've shown the ability to be able to run this football in for touchdowns here. So Jaylen Rager settles in right here, and all he's going to do, you're going to see Trayvon Diggs, the rookie, he kind of sees this coming. All it's going to be is a basic pick play. You're going to get Greg Ward coming inside, and he's just going to pick the most dangerous defender, which is going to be Xavier Rhodes. He's going to try and come down and defend Jaylen Rager on this route. And just watch the job that Greg Ward does. Just a nice little rub play. We're going to let this play here, and you're going to see the job Ward does. The reason why this is legal, it's within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. So, a little pick play works perfectly. Jaylen Rager fights through contact, sticks the ball out, crosses the pylon, and the Eagles get a touchdown. Nice job there from Jaylen Rager. His first career touchdown, the only touchdown for the Eagles in the first half.
Now is your chance to vote for the Toyota Player of the Week. Go to PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Toyota Player of the Week to cast your vote and get a chance at a brand new Toyota. Tonight's nominees should be no surprise to anyone. Eagles linebacker TJ Edwards making his presence felt in his return. Wide receiver Travis Fulgham continues to produce a touchdown in every single game. 78 yards, receiving for Fulgham this evening, and Brandon Graham with the game-changing strip sack as well, preventing Dallas from scoring. Guys, 3 great choices here. It's really hard for me to make a decision, but I think I have to go with Edwards, leading the team in tackles and, of course, returning from that injury. Ike, which one are you going to take?
Yeah, you definitely got to go with somebody on the defensive side of the ball, Amy. So, yeah, TJ Edwards, first game back. I mean, double-digit tackles, huge forced fumble that led to the clinching touchdown for the Eagles tonight. Yeah, you got to go with TJ Edwards, man. Big game from TJ Edwards tonight.
A big game from an Eagles linebacker nominated for Toyota Player of the Week. Of course, that's going to be Ike's pick, and I agree. What about you, Fran?
Yeah, I mean, if I were going to write one in, I would write Rodney McLeod, but I think that big play does not happen without TJ Edwards getting home on the blitz. So I'm going to go with the second-year linebacker, TJ Edwards. Good to have him back on the field tonight.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's get to our new segment. New segment, same segment, new name. This is the Jameson Nightcap. We are taking a look at the Eagles' next opponent. It's the New York Giants. Of course, the Eagles already have a win against this NFC East foe already this season. They'll get another chance after the bye, that game November 15th. The Giants are 1-6. Their next game tomorrow night, actually, I guess it's technically tonight, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. Ike, your quick thoughts on the Eagles' next matchup. They got a little time to get healthy before they see these guys again.
Yeah, and hopefully they do, and hopefully they get their minds healthy, particularly at the quarterback position. Playing a divisional opponent for the second time in a 3-week time span. I expect this next Giants game to be just as difficult as last week's was when they faced them on Thursday night. But the Eagles are getting healthy. They're getting a lot of guys back. But you got to start taking care of the football. These games don't have to be as difficult as we've made them. And the Eagles can just take care of the football. They should be able to do well against the Giants in 2 weeks.
Well, look, Fran, we talked about this before. The Giants, a team that haven't had a ton of success this season, but a new coaching staff. They're in a rebuild, and these guys are playing hard for this coach. They're playing hard for each other. And, of course, another division opponent, never a team that you should sleep on.
Yeah, no question. As you said, they're going to play on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Bucs, so we'll get their second look at what they're able to do after that Eagles game. They play again next week, so we'll get another game to be able to get a sense of this Giants football team. But yeah, we just saw this team 2 weeks ago, so I think we got a sense of what they're going to bring to the table. We'll be rewatching that matchup a lot for sure leading up to this game.
And speaking of rewatching the matchups, you can rewatch tonight's win Wednesday at 6 p.m. on NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Eagles now head into their bye week. As Doug Peterson said, it's a good time for a bye. Everybody's ready for some time off. We are also going to be having a little bit of time off here on the Postgame Show presented by Ricoh, but we will be back, as always, 45 minutes before kickoff of the Eagles' next game. That is November 15th against the New York Giants, as we said earlier. And of course, if you And of course, do not forget that Election Day is just 2 days away, less than 2 days at this point. Remember to vote. If you need help with your voting plan, you can go to PhiladelphiaEagles.com/vote to make your voice be heard. Everyone enjoy the bye week. We will be back here November 15th for another NFC East matchup. And for now, let's enjoy first place in this division. Everyone have a good night.